Hi guys, my name is Sabrina Harms and I'm a volunteer for BronxWorks. Today I will be presenting the Stellar Farmers Market curriculum for the Nutrition Education Capacity Program. Today's recipe incorporates two different pieces of produce that are super popular in the fall, and we're going to make a nice, sweet, comforting dish that you can use as a side or even as a healthy dessert. So our star farmers market ingredient today is a sweet potato, and we'll also be using an apple to make apple and sweet potato stir fry. Let's check out that recipe before we get started. For this recipe, you will need 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, 4 cups of chopped sweet potatoes, half a cup of water, 1 teaspoon grated ginger, which is optional, 2 cups chopped apples, and 1 teaspoon cinnamon. This recipe will make 5 servings. Here I've compiled all of the ingredients that I will be using today to make sweet potato and apple stir fry. As you can see, all of my produce has been washed, and I also washed my hands before starting this demonstration. For the best buy, choose sweet potatoes that taper on both ends. To prepare, scrub and remove eyes and dark spots. Keep the skin though, it's full of fiber and nutrients. To keep fresh, you can store in a cool, dry place for 1 to 2 weeks. Let's start by chopping up our apples. We'll want 2 cups of these, and for me what ended up working out was using 1 medium-sized apple and 1 small apple. Remember to use that bear claw hand to prevent your fingers from getting cut, and to cut with a wave-like motion. I first sliced down the middle so that I'd have a flat edge. As you can see, there's some core on the inside, so we're going to need to remove that before we can eat the apple. For the best buy, choose firm apples that have smooth, bright skins and with no bruises. To prepare fresh apples, you can simply rinse and enjoy, as the skin can be eaten. As you can see, I just removed the end, and I'm going to put that to the side as it contains part of the core. Now I just am going to slice up the apple. You can see I have all those slices, and I'm going to turn the apple the other direction and slice down that opposite direction. That side might be a little bit more difficult as you're going to be cutting more through the core. Just keep going. If you want to store fresh apples, you can keep them unwashed in the refrigerator for 3 to 4 weeks. And remember to squeeze lemon juice over cut apples to keep them from turning brown. So now that we have all of our slices, I'm going to cut off this middle part, which is the core and contains the seeds. You don't want to eat the seeds, so it's good to get rid of them before you start cooking. Now you can see I've got a whole group of sliced apples. Now let's cut our sweet potato. As you can see, I first cut down the middle so that I'd have those flat ends to work with, and now I'm going to cut up lengthwise to make strips. As you can see, it's a little bit more difficult to cut a sweet potato than it would be a normal white potato. It's a little bit tougher on the inside. It's okay to use your hand to press down on the flat end of your knife. Now that I've got the potato cut into strips, I'm going to just flip it around and then cut the opposite direction so that I get those nice small diced pieces. Again, make sure to move your knife in a wave-like motion. It will make this a lot easier to cut, and if you need that extra support, you can put your hand on the top. I'm now going to cut some of the slices into smaller pieces because they were a little bit bigger than I wanted. Sweet potatoes contain a lot of vitamin A, which is really good for healthy eyes and skin. You can also do a lot with a sweet potato. For example, for a baked sweet potato, scrub and wrap in foil. You can then bake at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 1 hour. You can also boil sweet potatoes and mash them. Add orange juice and a pinch of brown sugar for a sweet treat. Sweet potatoes can also be mixed with white potatoes if you want to add more nutrients and flavor to whatever you would normally make with a normal potato, such as mashed potatoes or even fries. Now let's grate our ginger. If you're using fresh ginger like me, you'll notice a much stronger ginger taste in your food. It will have that sharp taste and also a nice aroma, which is really nice when you're cooking. When you're grating something, make sure that you keep your fingers away from the little perforations as they can be very sharp. You're just going to want to move the ginger up and down so that you get those little gratings on the other side like that. All right, So I have been heating my oil in a large pot over medium heat while I've been doing the rest of my cooking, and now I'm going to add these sweet potatoes into the pot. Once you've added your sweet potatoes, you want to cover the pot and then cook for 5 minutes. Alright, so the sweet potatoes have now been cooking by themselves for about 5 minutes. So what we're going to do is take off the lid. Watch out for the steam when you do that. You don't want to get burnt, but you should notice a really nice aroma coming out of this pot. It's starting to smell really sweet. So I'm using ginger today, so I'm going to put my teaspoon of ginger in here. And you're also going to want to add your water. So let's pour that in. Cover and cook the pot for 5 minutes, stirring often. This is what you might notice while you're stirring. As you can see, there's a lot of steam coming out of this pot, and the sweet potatoes are nice and orange as they start to cook more. So now it's been 5 minutes since the ginger started cooking with the sweet potatoes, and the water's been in there too, so I'm going to take off the lid. Ooh, the sweet potatoes are definitely cooking. They're nice and orange, which happens as they start to get softer, and they smell absolutely delicious. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to add my apple slices here. And I've also got my teaspoon of cinnamon. I'm going to just sprinkle that all over, making sure to get all areas of my pan. If you got residual like me, you can just tap on the side to try and shake some of it loose. And now we're going to cook for about 10 more minutes, or until the sweet potatoes start to get soft. Here's what your pot might look like at around this point. As you can see, the cinnamon is pretty well coating both the apples and the sweet potatoes, and everything is cooking very nicely. You'll notice that the sweet potatoes are going to probably be a lot softer than the apples, and that's completely fine. It's just based on the different consistencies of the two plants. Remember that cooking can be family time. Kids can help out by scrubbing the sweet potato skins before using, or by mashing boiled sweet potatoes. Once 10 minutes have passed, you're done. You can serve immediately and enjoy as a dessert or sweet side dish, and refrigerate any leftovers. So we just finished making our sweet potato and apple stir fry, and now we're going to see how it tastes. So if you just made it at home, make sure that you get both the sweet potato and the apple in your mouth full. Here's mine. Let's go. That was absolutely delicious. It definitely is a really interesting combination because you've got the tartness of the apple next to the more starchy flavor of the sweet potato, and the cinnamon and ginger really brings it all together as a really nice fall dish. So I definitely recommend that you try this out. Check out the rest of our recipe videos on our YouTube channel, BronxWorks Info, and listen on for a little bit more information about our remaining farm stands. Thank you. The BronxWorks farm stand is still open until Thursday, November 19th. Remember to stop by every Thursday until then, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. to shop locally and get fresh fruits and vegetables so you can make these healthy recipes at home. When you stop by, make sure you go over to our outreach table, where you can watch these virtual videos and receive health bucks to use at the farm stand. We accept cash, FMNP coupons, health bucks, EBT, and SNAP. If you haven't already seen the cooking recipe videos, as I said before, make sure to check them out. And like and comment below if you enjoyed this video. Let us know if you tried the recipe and what you thought. Hope you join us next time. Thanks for listening. Bye.